What's up, guys? Bonus episode, Just Paddles, 00 Start Podcast. We're going to talk about Selkirk's biggest launch in years. This one is going to rival or take over the Vanguard Power Air launch. You guys agree with me there? On this Luxx series launch, the ultimate control paddle, the Luxx Control Air series, in their three most popular models. I'm teasing which one is my favorite. You probably could already tell, but the S2, the Epic, and the Invicta 20 millimeter core. This thing is literally the touch and control paddle that you guys were looking for forever. So I'm super excited about this. I know you guys have hit these paddles. You got to tell me what you think about them.
Yeah. It's the perfect complement to the Power Air. It is the control version. And it is magnificent.
Yeah, just one word. It's just impressive what they're able to do. Yeah, 20 millimeter thick. Ultimate control. Not missing very many resets, dinks. Feel very in control of my game with it, and very impressive.
And I don't want to like overstate that or say it too many times, but this paddle was designed to be a control paddle, to be a touch paddle. And they did exactly what they were hoping to do. It's a carbon fiber paddle, 20 millimeters thick. That's wild, but you really do get it. And it's significantly less powerful than its cousin in the Vanguard Power Air, which is obviously much thinner of a paddle, and it's designed for power. But if for some reason you don't like the feel of that or the power of that, or you're not looking for those things, this Luxx series was designed to really combat people that are looking for a control paddle. And this thing is like super soft. It's pretty wild. But when you see a 20 millimeter core thick paddle, you know what you're going to get from it. But I thought it was a home run.
Yeah. Going off the thick core, I mean, when you're playing with this paddle, you truly do feel the core absorb and grab the ball, and the amount of spin that you can generate off this thing because of that is wild.
It is gritty too. I mean, I'm feeling it right now. It's gritty, and a lot of top spin. And if you've ever played with the 003, the Project paddle, it's pretty similar to that with the thickness wide. But
tell me how they made this thing so gritty and so spin friendly and not break all the rules. Because you grab this thing and it feels like, my kids always say my hands feel like sandpaper, and it embarrasses me and makes me feel terrible. But this is probably what shaking my hand feels like. It is so like gritty, and like you can like hear it.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like the amount of spin you get from this thing is wild.
Yeah. And while it is a control paddle, I mean, it does still have some decent pop to it. So you can still put shots away with it for sure. But definitely it's more geared towards the control. Absolutely.
I personally would put some lead on it, but I still felt like I had some power, but I'm used to even more power. So that's what I would do.
And I think that's like the perfect fit is like, if you have power and you can kind of generate that on your own, but you can't generate touch kind of on your own, right? Like that comes from the paddle.
Yeah. But which is huge.
Yeah. If you can bring the heat yourself, this is a great option because it will give you the touch and the feel. There's just no doubt about it.
For sure. I mean, something I've always struggled with is around that kitchen line and avoiding popping the ball up. This paddle, I don't pop the ball up.
And that's the best part about is the Power Air, the Control Air come in 3 different models too. You can see them in front of you. I love the Invicta. I just like the elongated paddle for whatever reason. I always have, but it also comes in the Epic and the S2, which are more standard shape paddles, a wider sweet spot, and they're going to offer even more control because of that wider sweet spot, the shorter length. You're going to get you basically the whole face of the paddle is the sweet spot. It's going to have that stability, and you're going to, if you're looking for the ultimate control paddle, I think you work your way up, from there up to the Invicta, and you're going to have everything you want.
For sure. And I will say these paddles come in at about 8 ounces, right around that range is typically about the average. But the way they maneuver and the way you can handle them, you're more than likely, I don't want to guarantee it, but you're more than likely going to be able to increase your hand speed and just have quicker hands around the net, which is something most people always want to improve on or can always improve on. This paddle for sure definitely allows for very quick hands. Now, obviously, the Epic and the S2 are going to be a little bit quicker hands than the Invicta, but still the Invicta can still have some pretty darn quick hands with that thing.
Well, that's like the beauty of that series with that throat cut out, that airflow rips right through it. And you can't deny the maneuverability and the aerodynamic shape of that paddle, right? It's just going to be there, but it still weighs 8 ounces. So you're still going to get that plow through. You're still going to get the stability, but you can't deny the extra hand speed. And if you have both of those, if you have 8 ounces and a ton of hand speed, that combination is pretty powerful.
For sure.
And shout out Jack Sock, who I think, and this might be a hot take, but I think is going to become quickly one of the top players in the world, has endorsed this paddle and is going to be using it on tour. I'm pretty excited about that because he's that player I think we were talking about. He's going to have his power on his own. He's just got, great mechanics, and he's a strong dude.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how this thing, he's able to smash the ball with it, but has that superior touch too.
He played in a pro-am with Annalie Waters at the PPA Kansas City in August, and he was playing with the gold colorway that you have. And I was like, what is that? I've never seen that before. So yeah, that's a beautiful looking paddle there.
It sure is.
I got to see what that is, but that's what he was hitting with, and it lives up to the hype. Bravo to Selkirk. They knocked it out of the park here.
Yeah. They sure did. And I love the 3 models offered too, because if you don't like elongated, you can go to the S2. And if you don't like the S2, you can go to the Epic. You're going to find something in your range that you like.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, if this Luxx Control Air series makes us play like Jack Sock, we all need to buy them immediately.
110,000%.
That, and you'll see me on the tour next year if that's the case.
Yep, me too.
But then you won't be here, Jason, and we need you. So rethink that.
Fair.
Live from the courts.
Well, if you guys want to learn any more about the Luxx series, justpaddles.com. Head over to Selkirk. This thing is brand new. We're pumped about it. I got 3 samples myself. You're looking at them. I can't wait to hit these. These go in my bag, and they make their way to the courts every single time. Pretty pumped to get out to the court and slap these things around every chance I get.
Same.
Yep, you won't be disappointed, that's for sure.